We're talking about clearing the lymph. There's so much talk of detox and it being a thing that we intake, but we already have this very powerful mechanism and it's in our body. So today we're going to learn how to turn it on. So the way I see it is when we're working with the lymph, it's all about flow in the body. So we've really got two types of situations that you might experience is when things are feeling stagnant and they're congested and it feels like things are accumulating in the system, and when they're flowing. It's when the channels are clear and the things that are flowing through your system, they absorb and your body can be nourished and all of those wonderful things. As we explore the practices today, that's really the journey that we'll be on. We may experience areas that may feel a bit congested, and with practice and a bit of consistency, then we can move to a more flowing state. So we're in Mobilize week this week, and we're in this area, clear lymph. And so this is really a big part of the system that we're working with is the metabolic system in the body. The lymphatic system is its own system within that. So here's how I see it. The lymph is kind of like the garbage truck of the body. If it stops moving and moving waste, then it can pile up. And if you go through periods where you experience a buildup of fatigue or brain fog or the body's inflamed and that's not clearing, this can be a sign that the lymph isn't moving. And this is why often, sometimes in states of chronic fatigue, the systems become so stagnant that rest itself doesn't actually help at that point, because often it's a sign that the brakes are on internally and the system's not flowing. So this is one way of looking at experiences like fatigue and why rest doesn't always help, and how we can then gradually support the body to regain its flow. So we've got our blood, and that's pumped around the body by the heart. But our lymphatic system doesn't actually have a pump. It requires us to do a few things: move and breathe and have good hydration to support it pumping. And so when it doesn't, toxins tend to accumulate. And I say that lightly. Toxins are really just products that the body can't clear. And imagine that then that builds up in the system, then immunity drops down. And then when things aren't flowing as well, energy doesn't flow as well, and we experience lower levels of energy and our overall capacity can decrease. So the big blocks that I've learned over the years is really a lack of movement, when we're not moving much or enough, shallow breathing, low hydration, in particularly our minerals, and holding tension. There can be a number of cause factors for this, and for everyone, it's individual. But these definitely can contribute to the blockage in the lymphatic system. So in the practice today, I'll take you through this framework. And I see it as a flow because each of the parts are interconnected. They can operate in their own interdependent system of practice, or they can be combined. One of my goals is to make ancient practices and modern day practices more personal, more fun, and more connected to each person as an individual. So as we do this, we're going to look at it through mostly a principle lens. So rather than me telling you exactly how to do it, I'll put you in some different scenarios where you'll get to explore how your body uniquely does it and where it's at today. And then you'll have a sense of where it can go over time. So these are some key principles. So swinging the arms is going to be very helpful. First, it's really helpful to loosen the body overall, but then also because it's connected to our heart channel. So the heart pumps and then it really starts to move through the arms. So once we start to loosen this area in the body, it starts to increase the circulation overall without exciting the system too much. We're going to explore patting the body. And so this is going to help the lymph fluid start to move and give it a gentle massage to stimulate it. Basically, we're going to cause a vibration inside the body to stimulate anything that's stuck inside to start to move out. We'll explore some gentle shaking, and this is really helpful just to move the stagnant energy of the body. And then we'll explore a process I call detox breathing. The key thing with what we'll be doing is you'll notice that we'll be moving in a way that doesn't require a lot of muscular effort or force. And this is a really helpful way of moving. When we do this, the body can move, but the tension in the muscles obstruct the flow less and less. These are some of the core principles that we'll explore. I'll invite you to stand in a moment and we'll have a practice, but that's what we're about to get into today. So just as you move into a stand, just notice where your body is at right now. Just notice your feet on the floor. We're just going to move into a place where we feel relatively centered. Just notice your breath. As we keep going, we're going to practice just letting ourselves go into a felt state with the body. And any thoughts that might come up. What does this mean? Am I doing that right? And all of that sort of stuff. That's okay. Let that be there. But just know that you can't get any of this wrong, even if you tried. All you need to do is just listen to, is that too much for me at the moment? Then I might make it a little easier. Do I need a little bit more? Then I might make it a little bit more challenging. This is really all we need to do. And then just listen to the signals of the body as we go. So we'll start off just by loosening the arms. So we're just going to just let them start to swing around just by moving the center of the body. So the hips, the abdomen are going to be the instigators of our movement. My intent for this as we keep going is that it becomes playful, that we bring in that spirit of play. Rather than, this is something that I'm doing for my lymphatic system, and it's all serious and the body and all of that sort of thing. Really, it's kind of, we're playing with the body and we're playing with this system. This is how I see it. So just getting a feeling to begin, just the arms softening and loosening. Just notice their possibility for your arms to just move without any effort at all. And we'll just start to swing them in different directions. You may already feel some things starting to open up in the body as a result. There's no particular direction or way that you need to swing your arms at this point. Just explore the center moves and the arms swing. And if anything, it's kind of like just a gentle dipping motion, like we're springing up and down. The arms can swing in all sorts of different patterns. We can shift our weight from side to side. And just let the breath go. Where we're going to go with this is we just want to reach a point where the body starts to generate a light sweat. And so as we keep going, that's kind of our marker. It's a really useful stage of bringing things, the heat in particular, inside the body and supporting a cleaning process through the perspiration. So just the level of your swing, that's a personal preference and also just tailored to where your current levels of movement are comfortable. So no need to force into any ranges. And you can rest and pause at any point. And if you do, you might just take a little walk around. This in and of itself is a bit of a practice of letting go of control. Just letting your arms and letting your body flow. You can see the different patterns that you can make and how you can start to surrender into that natural flow. Okay, so just settle when you're ready, and we'll just notice the body again. Just come back into your center. Your heart rate may have elevated, your core temperature may have raised. You may feel a clearer flow of energy moving through your body. This is just a useful reflection so we can just gauge in our practice over time, how did I meet this movement? How did I meet this practice? And we're learning to meet the body as it is with care, essentially. Next, we're going to go into patting the body. We're going to move up and down to gently start to massage through all of the soft tissue to encourage the flow of lymph. We'll start off with a gentle swinging action, just like we established just before. And then we'll start to pat from the head down to the feet. So we'll start off and we'll just get that swing motion going again. And just gently patting around the lower section of the torso. Now, as we get going, we're going to be patting different organ systems. And you may notice that there might be congestion in different areas. That might be indicated by, it might feel a bit tense or a bit tender. So not that we need to force it to change. We'll just become aware of it. And as we pat the body and stimulate those organs that may be holding on to some things, we may experience different states of emotion. When we look at Chinese medicine, different organ systems can connect with the storing of different states of emotion, like anger in the liver and the pancreas, grief in the lungs. This is not to pathologize, but just see how the body can hold on to things when we disconnect from just allowing ourselves to feel. So we're just moving slowly up the body from the lower systems to the middle system. Depending also when you ate, I would just recommend just to be considerate of that. Ideally, we do these practices on an empty stomach, but accommodate to where your digestion's at. So as we move up toward the center of the chest, You can lightly close your hand so it makes a soft fist. Just hitting on some key points of the body. We're patting in similar places between the front and the back of the body. Again, we're just letting the arms swing and letting it be driven from the center. We'll move up to the nests of the shoulder, up in this area where the shoulders meet the torso, at the upper portions of the chest. And if you want, you can say the alphabet as you do it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's just me being funny. And then we'll move up to the upper back. So opening the hands and then patting around the upper back where it meets the neck. And if you like, you can go a little higher toward the neck. Just rest there for a moment. Now we'll pat from the head down through the face, all the way down the body to where, as far as you can get down, ideally to the feet. So around the more sensitive areas of the face, you can use the fingertips. We can track the channels down beside the ears, around the jaw. If you're holding tension in this area, it may feel a little tender in the beginning. We can track the channels around the brow, under the eyes, beside the nose and the cheeks, to the chin. And we'll just explore the face for a little bit. And just notice, often we don't notice how much is held in the face. So just an opportunity to let it soften. Let the fluids flow around the face and the jaw. We can move that around the head. It can either be the fingertips or the hands just gently patting. Moving down to the back of the skull. Again, just choose your level of intensity. And feel free to spend more time on any areas where you feel you need to. We'll move to the front of the neck. Just being gentle around the throat, along the collarbones. Then along the arms and the hands. Particularly giving some attention in between the elbows. In that joint there. It's a big doorway. Then we contract that from the armpits down the torso. Now again, at any point, just feel free to take a breather, take a rest. This may be a big stimulus if this is new. So we just want to titrate our experience. Do the other arm. Again, just bringing attention around the elbow. And then down through the armpit and the torso. And just feel free to just move again down. Oh yeah, down the body. Till we get to the hips. So I'm lightly closing the hands as I get to the hips, the harder tissue. Here, just moving through the hip flexors and the psoas and around to the glutes and even around the kidneys on the back, using the back of the hand like that. And then we'll just move down as far down the legs to the feet as you can. Ooh. So feel free to continue that for as long as you like. You can do a couple of rounds. But we'll move next to the shaking, a gentle pulsing of the body. So just notice again, just let yourself recenter. Feel free to just let a gentle sway enter the body. And we're just going to start with some gentle pulsing. So the feet are flat at the moment. And it's like we're wriggling our bones inside our skin. It's like the skeleton is moving inside. And you'll notice the tissue just starts to bounce up and down around the skeleton. This is a good opportunity to just scan inside your body. If you notice any areas that are holding on, just rest your attention there as you gently pulse. No need to fix it, no need to change it, no even need to understand it. Just rest your attention there and just keep bringing the vibration into that area through this gentle pulsing. Again, as the body's starting to move, we're intersecting with the somatic memory of the tissue. So if there's areas that have been holding for a while, and then you start to notice them, it may surface feelings, memories, thoughts about similar experiences from the past. This is hardwired into the body and the brain. Can also support the release as we reintegrate those experiences as this, oh, I had this feeling in the past, but now here I am. I'm safe in this moment, and this sensation is also just a natural byproduct of some experiences that have happened. Now, if you'd like to take it further, we can lift the heels, and so then the heels are now causing a gentle strike on the ground I'll just give a visual. Every time we just let the body soften, even if it's only a little more than the last time. And the more you keep revisiting these practices, the more you'll get to know your own holding patterns, and the better you'll be able to work with them as well. Just a gentle rhythm. So feel free to just explore any states between the feet flat, the heels striking. You could even just be lightly bouncing and jogging on the spot. It could be a little dance. Again, doesn't have to be serious. Make it as fun as you would like. The principle still remains the same. Just bringing vibration into the body, just gently shaking the body. Okay. So again, just recenter. Just notice your body now. We've raised the core temperature. We've started to engage this pump throughout the body through the loosening and softening of the areas. So we've stimulated some lymphatic flow with what we've done. We'll now come back down to seated. You can also do this standing, but I'll go through it seated. It's the easiest way to learn it at the start. Now we'll explore detox breathing. What we're doing with this is intentionally increasing the pressure a little bit in the body and using the breath to support that. It can be quite flexible depending on your own natural breath cycle and where it's at, and it can change the more you practice this as your body builds tolerance. But basically we'll do 3 breaths. So we're going to inhale short. So it'll be we're going to hold long. And then we'll exhale medium. This is all in reference to the first breath. So if the first breath's really short, then what's long will be just a bit longer. And then what's medium will just be a little bit less than we hold at the top. If you wanted to be meticulous about this, you could do the ratio of 1, 4, and 2 in the breath. But we're going to get pretty much the same effect by just using these ratios anyway. So in the spirit of lightheartedness and not being too serious, we can just bring in that short, long, and medium breath. So this will change over time. So just as one example before we go into it as you settle. So let's say my breath is about a 4 count in. Then my hold might be about a 16 count. As I'm holding, I'm just letting myself soften rather than holding all this pressure in my head. But there's still air full in the body. So there's internal pressure that's building a little bit. And then I'll exhale, not completely out, but just a moderate exhale. And then I'll repeat. If you needed to take a gasp, that's saying that probably that breath cycle was a bit long for you. And then I'd just adjust and just make it shorter accordingly. So let's have an explore. So we'll inhale short. So just hold a bit longer than that. And then exhale a medium length. Now add in a layer on the next exhale. So as you do that next exhale, we're going to draw the abdomen in like you're squeezing a lemon. And this is going to support the digestive system to start to squeeze itself, which is really valuable for the detox process. So short inhale, holding a bit longer, just soften into that. And then as you draw out, drawing the abdomen in, just keep drawing it in, and then let that go and continue. You'll find a rhythm with this. If you feel lightheaded at any point, you can just return to your natural rhythm of breathing. We'll just continue for a few more breaths. Just keep noticing what's happening inside the body. Okay. So just returning back to your natural rhythm of breathing. And just noticing the body again. Notice what's happening now, particularly in relation to where we started. It can be really valuable. It's been really valuable to me, particularly with building up my energy levels. I would often feel like I was really tired, and then I would do practices like this and realized I wasn't tired, I was just stagnant. And so it can be a good reflection just at the end of a practice like this to really see where you're really at. And often you realize, oh, maybe I actually didn't need rest. I just needed to reconnect and get things moving again, get my energy flowing in the body. And then it's like, oh, I'm renewed. Other times you may then go, oh, I actually am really tired and I really need this restoration to support. The useful thing here is that we're learning to get accurate signals with the body, because if we're not actually needing the rest and then we accumulate and then we just become more stagnant. So this can be really helpful. It's definitely been really helpful for me. What you just experienced is one piece of a much bigger journey. Think of a Shaolin warrior, strong, resilient, fully present, at peace in their own skin, unshaken by whatever life brings, moving through the world with ease, not effort.
That's what this work builds toward. Homebody is the map that takes you there, step by step in the right order. Watch this video to get your homebody plan. The link is also in the description.